Hello friends, welcome to one more video. Difference between direct tax versus indirect tax. This is also a very important question, and by learning this and through watching this video throughout, you will understand the topic of both direct tax as well as what is understood by indirect tax. Let us see this in detail. The point number 1 of difference between direct tax is, what is direct tax? Income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax are example of direct tax, whereas excise duty, custom duty, service tax, value added tax, etc. are example of indirect tax. Similarly, you can also add GST for indirect tax. Second point. What is second point? The taxpayer pays direct tax straight to the government. Therefore, the SSC pays the tax to the government, whereas indirect tax, the taxpayer pays indirect taxes through the dealer to the government. For example, you purchase a bike or a two-wheeler, then you pay tax to the dealer and dealer pays tax to the government. Therefore, it is a indirect tax. Next topic, third point. The taxpayer has to register with the authorities. You have to file your income tax return, whereas the dealer has to register with tax authority and not the taxpayer, because the taxpayer are very large in numbers. Fourth point. Do not have any impact on cost of the goods, because this is the tax on the income. Therefore, it does not affect the demand, whereas it is the tax, indirect tax is the tax on the goods. Therefore, the cost and the price increases, which results into reduce in demand of goods. More differences. Point number 5. High income earner pay higher tax and low income earner pays less tax or nil tax or direct tax. Therefore, direct tax are progressive in nature, whereas indirect tax does not discriminate between rich and poor. Burden of indirect tax is same on rich as well as on poor. Indirect tax is tax on consumption that affect inversely to low income group. Therefore, a rich person like Mukesh Ambani or a common man pays the same amount of indirect tax. 6 point. It is progressive in nature. The number of tax or the rate of tax increases with increase in income, whereas it is regressive in taxation, means it remains same. 7th point. It is tax on income, whereas it is tax on expenditure. Next point, 8th point. It is imposed on income of a person, whereas it is imposed on goods and services. 9th point. Determined on the basis of income and wealth of a person, whereas it is determined on the basis of value of goods and services. 10th point. Government find difficulty to collect because the SSC or the taxpayer are very large, and on the other hand, indirect tax are comparatively easy to collect because it has to be collected by the dealer or from the manufacturer. 11th point. The tax burden is not shifted because the SSC he himself has to pay, whereas the tax burden is shifted to the consumer. First the manufacturer pays and then it recovers from wholesaler, he recovers from dealer, and lastly the consumer has to pay the indirect tax. Next point. Collection cost is comparatively more in indirect tax because officers are engaged and the collection process is very large, whereas it is comparatively less expensive because tax is to be collected on the goods produced by the manufacturer itself. Next point. 13. More evasion. More evasion means people do not pay tax, or in a simple sense it is tax chori. Whereas indirect tax is comparatively less evasion because in MRP the tax is included and we only pay the MRP. 14th point. An SSC is a tax player, and SSC and taxpayer both are different. 15th point. Number of taxpayer are limited, whereas number of taxpayer are very large. Friends, I will upload video on every Sunday, so please subscribe to our channel Pranav Classes. Please share if you like it so that friend, brother and sister gets more mark. All the best for your exams. Thank you.